Hello, distinguished friends and colleagues. This is Stuart Hamilton, the Pro-Life Activities Coordinator for the Archdiocese of Louisville, Kentucky, serving under Deacon Stephen Bowling. And this is 5 Minutes for Life, where we take 5 minutes to discuss one topic, one event, or one ministry that affects the pro-life movement here in the Archdiocese of Louisville. Well, welcome to 2024. Happy New Year. And what a year that it will probably be. I thought it would be a good thing to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of what we can expect when it comes to respect life concerns in 2024. The first thing I want to talk about is a follow-up to my last story. If you recall, Planned Parenthood had brought forth a lawsuit to try to overturn the two laws that make abortion illegal in the state of Kentucky. Well, right before Christmas, they voluntarily withdrew that lawsuit. It's no longer going forward. Now, the reason for that is unfortunately very tragic. The woman that was seeking an abortion and who was giving them court standing, she tragically lost her unborn baby. We are not happy about that. We pray for that woman, even though it is a great relief that the lawsuit is not going forward. And it kind of highlights a dark irony in the challenge that Planned Parenthood has here. You see, Planned Parenthood is not interested in the dignity of unborn human life, but they have to have someone who agrees with them on that, but is willing to carry an unborn human life, possibly to term, while they are fighting this court case. And this is a challenge they have yet to overcome. Nonetheless, this is not the last time we've heard from Planned Parenthood. They will try this or something else again. I wouldn't be surprised if they sought an amendment to the Kentucky State Constitution to find a right to abortion here in Kentucky. That, of course, was very successful in several states in 2023. Now, speaking of 2024, of course, unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know that it is going to be a stressful election year. And really, unfortunately, abortion has been highly politicized and put at the forefront of the election talks. The White House just last week announced that the vice president is going on a Fight for Reproductive Freedoms tour. She's going around the states advocating for an expansion of abortion rights at the state level. Now, this has intentionally put a lot of national political pressure on our pro-life legislators in the state of Kentucky. There is immense pressure on our pro-life legislators to expand abortion rights where they can, for example, with rape exemptions. There's a lot of pressure for pro-life legislators to cave on that. Of course, we as Christians believe that every human life has dignity, regardless of how you're conceived. So rape exemptions would not be appropriate for us. So in 2024, it's going to be incumbent on us to encourage our pro-life legislators that we have their back, that we will support them as long as they hold the line, and they are supporting legislation that actually helps women and helps the unborn. To that end, on January 23rd, there's going to be the first March for Life in Frankfort, Kentucky. And I'm inviting all of you to come to this March for Life and come out in mass. The theme of the march is Love Them Both, and we will be, in the context of that march, promoting legislation that actually helps women in crisis pregnancy situations and helps to further promote the cause of protecting babies' lives and the unborn lives. So please, come out in mass, show your support for holding the line on pro-life legislation. Now, there are lots of other things that I could talk about. I'm sure in the coming weeks I will. There are some laws making their way up through the court system that expand abortion pill access. We need to watch those. The Department of Health and Human Services have been kind of changing the wording on some of the federal laws when it comes to health insurance in hopes of expanding abortion. But we'll talk about those stories later. I want to end this video on encouraging you as a pro-life Christian to practice the virtue of hope this year. It's going to be stressful for everyone. That is just a known quantity. Hope is a theological virtue. It comes from God, yes, but because it's a virtue, we must exercise it. We must practice it. One good way to practice hope is to focus our hearts and our minds on stories that remind us why we're fighting all of the battles that we're fighting in the pro-life community. I read a story just this morning from the National Catholic Register. It's the top 7 pro-life stories of 2023. I found it immensely hopeful hearing about these people who fought for the lives of their unborn children, and they won that fight. So I'm going to put a link to that video in the description of that article in the description of this video. And I really, really encourage you to ruminate on that article, to read it, and to really remind yourself we must practice that virtue of hope, especially in 2024. That's all I have for you today. God bless you. Remember that every human life is worth fighting for, because every human life has dignity in the eyes of God. If you like what I'm doing here, please smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and share this video with your friends and family. I'll see you here next week.